Want to make sure that you pass your backing on your CDL exam? Well, then this is the video for you. I've helped over 300 drivers earn their Class A CDL. Watch until the end to catch all my tips on how to pass your backing with confidence. Alright guys, so here we are for the new revised backing test. Pretty simple stuff here. As we can see, we have 4 different maneuvers. So why don't we just get right into explaining these, and then we'll see examples of the backs actually out in the field. So your first maneuver is going to be a pull-up. Pretty straightforward stuff here. What we're trying to do, and we're going to start from behind the box here. What we're trying to do is pull up without stopping until our deer guard or the nose of that truck is inside this box. Once we have that nose there, we're going to stop, set our brakes, tap our horn to signal we're done. So why don't we head out into the field and get a look at what that looks like.
All right, as we can see here, we are set up in front of the test pad to start and begin by accelerating slowly into the lane towards the yellow box target at the end of the lane. Now remember, it is very important not to stop early here. The moment the vehicle comes to its first stop is when the maneuver is scored, so we wait until the end to bring ourselves to a gentle, controlled stop.
Put it in neutral, set our brake, tap our horn. Okay, so as we saw right there, that was a good example of a pull-up, pretty straightforward stuff. We're just stopping to make sure that we know where the nose of our vehicle is. Now from that position, we're going to continue and pull all the way up to a position straight in the box up here, where we are with our trailer past this line. And you can even stop a lot closer to that. That examiner is going to let you know as soon as the back of your trailer is through the box, it's okay to start. And what you're going to do here is you're going to back yourself all the way through the box until you get to the other side where you can see visibly the cones in the box here. At that point, you're going to set your brakes, tap your horn to signal you're done. Now on this one, we do have a free pull-up if we need and a get out and look. So if you're getting a little close to one of these walls, you can stop, pull up to correct yourself, and come back through. There is no time limit on it, so if you feel like you want to go a little bit slower to be comfortable, that's okay too. But you should be able to roll about 1 to 2 foot per second, a nice, comfortable walking speed. So let's head out into the field and get an example of what that looks like.
Okay, as we can see here, we are starting from the position that we ended the previous maneuver and pulling up to get the trailer past the yellow box to begin our back. Now it is very important here to pull up slow and controlled. As I tell all of my students, how you pull up is how easy or how difficult it is to back up, so pull up with a plan. Now one of our key phrases out here is to tailor it, and by that we mean to make it fit. So making small early cuts will help us to keep small problems small. And again, make sure to be early. When we see that the back of that trailer is beginning to run right, we want to make sure that we're steering right away in order to get that trailer back in shape. And when we see that that trailer starts to then run off to the left, we want to make sure that we're steering left in order to push that trailer back over to the right, making sure that we're early with these small cuts to stay in front of our trailer all the way through the box. Now once you have the trailer halfway out of the box, focus on not swinging your truck with big turns. It is okay if the trailer runs a little at this point as long as we keep from hitting a wall. Remember how it is scored. Only contacting the wall or using an additional pull-up gets points. And once we can see the cone clearly,
put it in neutral, set our brake, tap our horn. All right, so that was our second maneuver. Pretty straightforward stuff, or straight backing stuff, depending on who you ask. All the way up and back through the box, set our brakes, tap our horn to signal we're done. Now that third maneuver, this is a newer one, the forward offset. And what we're trying to do here, as we're starting from this back position, is to pull up into the box, come continuously through this dotted area, making sure not to hit this. There's a cone right here, making sure not to hit this, and put the back tire of the trailer through this gap right here. What we're trying to find out here is, can you keep the blind side of your trailer under control without off-tracking too far away from something or running into something. So as we come up through the box, we're going to continue through here. And what we want to do is put the back of that trailer, that tire, through that gap. And as we're doing that, we're going to start to pull back up to the right to straighten ourselves up parallel to this box for the start position for that fourth maneuver. So why don't we head in the field and take a look at this maneuver number 3, the forward offset.
So as we can see, we are starting in the same position as the previous maneuver ended and begin by pulling into the lane. Now this maneuver is testing our off tracking on both the left and right side. So as I pull up, I watch and wait until my trailer axles are a few feet before the off track cone before I steer left to aim my right steer into the gap. Continuing forward, I adjust the right mirror slightly down to observe my blind side off track. And again, prior to the axle reaching the gap, I begin to steer back towards it in order to straighten myself all the way up between the cones at the end of the pad. And once we've come to a complete stop, put it in neutral, set our brake, tap our horn. Want to get my CDL prep packet to help you build your confidence and ace your pre-trip driving test and backing? Well, grab it today on my website, cdlyeah.com, for only $5. And if you want my packet for free, if you're interested in driving for Prime, apply today and list my name as your driver referral. Shoot me an email to let me know you applied to Prime and I'll send you the CDL prep packet for free. And as always, under the driver application tab on Prime Mobile, select Heather Ross in the dropdown as your recruiter. She is my dedicated recruiter and a fantastic one at that. And of course, where it asks who was the Prime driver who referred you, jot down DANNYCRISP to let them know I sent you. Now, back to the action on this fourth maneuver.
All right, so there we have a good example of that third maneuver, the forward offset. Now that fourth maneuver is going to be our backward offset. And as we can see right here, our start position needs to be straight with our truck and trailer, parallel to this line right here, all the way up towards the end of this box. Now, if at the end of your third maneuver you pulled up a little bit crooked, that examiner will help you get reset to make sure that you are in this straight position, because that is part of the rules that the driver cannot be an advantage or a disadvantage in their start position. So your start position should look somewhat like this. Now from this point, what we're trying to do on our backward offset is back ourselves into the box here. And a simple way to think about this is first you want to back up to get yourself a little bit closer to the box. And as you're going to see, we're going to put our back trailer tire somewhere in this space here, and then we're going to do 2 consecutive cuts to point our trailer and then get back flush. So I want my trailer to point right, I'm going to do a big left, and then steer right to get back in front of it. And at that point, we should be pointed into the box somewhat like this. And your instructor can help you with those specific cuts to get yourself in a position that looks somewhat like this. But at that point, we're going to back up to get ourselves a little bit further inside the box, and at that point we're going to do those same 2 cuts the opposite direction to get ourselves realigned back inside the box. So we want the back of the trailer to go left, we'll do a big right, then get back flush and hopefully be in a position somewhat like this. And to finish off this maneuver, we just back up until the back of our trailer is inside that box. Set our brakes, tap our horn to signal we're done. Now in this particular maneuver, we have 2 get out and looks and 2 free pull-ups should we need them, but hopefully we can get it in just one shot. So let's head out into the field and get a look at this maneuver, the backward offset.
Okay, as we can see, we are starting again in the position we ended the last maneuver, or that reset that the examiner helps you with. Now at this point, we want to back up to get our back trailer tire, or the back of our trailer, straight with that yellow box or a tiny bit behind it. And think of that yellow box like it is the back of the vehicle you're trying to back behind. This is kind of a parallel park essentially that we're doing. So right now I want my trailer to go right, so I'm going to steer all the way left, put a big cut in it to try and use this space efficiently, pushing that trailer right with a big left. And at a certain point I'll put enough of a cut into it to want to stop completely and begin to steer back the opposite direction to get back in front of it. These 2 consecutive cuts is a nice way to be efficient with your space, big cuts over short distances in order to point the trailer effectively. Now at this point, we're getting the truck all the way back in front of the trailer, all the way back flush. And when we do, we stop and straighten out our steers. We want to essentially get our truck and trailer pointed in the box and then do a straight line back into the box. And we're pointed at that off-track cone. We want to be close to it without hitting it. And that's because the deeper we get in this box before we start our cuts, the less likely we are to swing into that cone with our final turn. Now right now I want my trailer to go left, so I put that big right in. And once I like that cut, I'm going to steer all the way back to the left in order to get back in front of my trailer. It's those same 2 cuts we did earlier to get realigned inside the box. And once we're inside the box, we're going to straighten out our steers, back up with that straight line back technique to put the back of our trailer inside that yellow box. And when it is, put it in neutral, set our brake, tap our horn.
All right, guys, so there we have it. That is our fourth and final maneuver. That is going to be our backward offset. So we had our pull up, then our straight line back, then our forward offset, and then finally our backward offset. So if you have any questions about this stuff, feel free to reach out to me directly, comment below. Other than that, drive safe, drive smart, and until next time, guys. Let me just look at it. Can we? No, we're fine. I believe it. We're fine. Light's good, feels good. We're good? Audio's good? It's all happening? Are we rolling right now? Nice. Okay, so as we... I didn't know you were going. All right, we good?
Well, there's 4. Can you get it back to you, or do you have to come get it? Okay. Well, then we'll stop that one.